I'm Brooke Bird with the California Medical Association, and I'd like to thank you for attending today's Accessing CMA's Online Health Law Library webinar. Please submit your questions as you have them by using the question box in the control panel located on the right-hand side of your screen. I will collect the questions and ask them during the Q&A part of this session. Earlier, I emailed a copy of today's presentation. If you would like me to resend this, please let me know by using the question box and I will send it out immediately. Now, I would like to introduce you to today's presenters. Lisa Matsubara and Michelle Rubalcava are legal counsel in CMA Center for Legal Affairs. Lisa focuses on privacy and security and scope of practice issues, while Michelle's areas of interest include managed care, Medi-Cal, and payer issues. Along with a health law information specialist, they staff the CMA Legal Information Line. Lisa and Michelle are both members of the California State Bar and the California Society for Healthcare Attorneys. With that, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Thanks, Brooke. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michelle Rubalcava. I am one of the attorneys in CMA's Center for Legal Affairs. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. First things first. We hope this webinar provides you with useful information. However, nothing in this webinar is intended as, nor should it be interpreted as, legal advice. All the materials used in the webinar today are merely for informational purposes, and if you find yourself needing legal advice, CMA Center for Legal Affairs would recommend that you consult a qualified attorney. This is today's roadmap. We will do a brief overview of CMA's Center for Legal Affairs. We will share with you CMA's plentiful legal resources that are available to both members and non-members. We will also provide you with information on CMA's Health Law Library and our Legal Information Line. And finally, we will do a brief tutorial on how to access and use CMA's online on-call website. CMA Center for Legal Affairs consists of 5 attorneys that specialize in various areas of health law, 1 health law information specialist, and 2 administrative assistants. We serve as in-house corporate counsel, providing legal advice to CMA's Board of Trustees, Executive Committee, House of Delegates, and its executive management. The Center for Legal Affairs also provides legal analysis and guidance to the other centers in CMA, including our Center for Government Relations, Center for Medical and Regulatory Policy, and the Center for Economic Services. In addition, we defend the rights of physicians in the courts by protecting physicians and their practices from legal, legislative, and regulatory intrusion. CMA members also benefit from the Center's educational seminars and presentations, which help them comply with new state laws and regulations that impact the practice of medicine. CMA's legal advocacy on behalf of its members usually takes one of 2 forms. One form is the filing of amicus curiae briefs. Amicus curiae, or as it is usually referred to, AC, means a friend of the court. CMA attorneys regularly file AC briefs in cases brought by other parties that raise or deal with issues of importance to physicians or the practice of medicine. These AC briefs are typically filed only when a case is pending before the Court of Appeal or Supreme Court. We usually wait to join cases until they reach the appellate level because these type of cases usually result in what's called binding precedent, which means these cases will typically have the same force or do have the same force as a statute passed by the legislature. The second way that CMA engages in legal advocacy on behalf of its members is through direct litigation. This happens less frequently and only when other avenues of relief appear futile. Typically, CMA will file lawsuits to enforce or clarify existing law, to promote the science and art of medicine, to protect the public health, or to better the medical profession. If you would like to learn more about our current and past cases where CMA has been directly involved as a litigant, you can go to the CMA website and pull up our CMA case list. The list is updated on a monthly basis and can give you the most current information regarding CMA's lawsuits. CMA's Center for Legal Affairs also publishes a number of legal documents for physicians and patients. Here you have a list. It's not an exhaustive list. You have the Advanced Healthcare Directive Kit, Closing the Medical Practice, Managed Care Contracting Toolkit, HIPAA Training Manual, California Physicians Legal Handbook. These publications keep you up to date on the latest healthcare news and information affecting the practice of medicine in California. All of our publications are updated annually or as needed to be current with state, federal law. For example, CMA's Advanced Healthcare Directive Kit. An Advanced Healthcare Directive Kit is a set of written instructions that a person gives that specify what actions should be taken for their health if they are no longer able to make decisions due to illness or incapacity. This is now the legally recognized format for a living will here in California. CMA's publication includes information such as who can complete an advanced healthcare directive? Do you need a lawyer to complete an advanced healthcare directive? Would your advanced healthcare directive be valid in a different state? It also provides the forms to draft and complete your own advanced healthcare directive. Closing a medical practice. This publication discusses and goes into great detail regarding the major issues that arise when closing a medical practice. It was written to assist physicians who are retiring or are otherwise closing or selling their practice. It also informs family members or estates of deceased physicians on the steps that must be taken in order to properly close a medical practice. Within this publication, you can find sample form letters and sample patient authorizations that are legally required to transfer the practice's medical records. A popular publication is CMA's Managed Care Contracting Toolkit. As you know, physicians face a significant challenge in understanding and negotiating the complex and confusing provisions contained within third-party payer contracts. Therefore, CMA created this educational resource which helps members thoughtfully consider whether and when to enter into agreements with payers and how to prepare for negotiations when a payer relationship is desired. The toolkit also provides the physician and his or her office staff with practical tips and tools to complete a contract and fee schedule analysis, prepare for contract negotiation or renegotiation, and issues to consider after the contract has been signed. CMA's HIPAA Training Manual is a joint effort by the CMA and Privaplant Associates. This manual provides a general training and overview which can be used as part of your HIPAA training program. However, it should be noted that this manual is not a substitute for compliance with the entire HIPAA privacy and security rule. Another CMA resource, the CMA Privaplant HIPAA Privacy and Security Compliance Toolkit, is also available to ensure HIPAA compliance. Here we have a list of other CMA publications which provide members with information and resources about both state and federal laws and regulations that impact the practice of medicine. Once again, this is not an exhaustive list of all the publications that we have, just a small sample. Lastly, one of the major contributions of CMA's Center for Legal Affairs is the drafting, editing, and publication of the California Physicians Legal Handbook, also commonly referred to as CPLH. CPLH is the only comprehensive legal guide written especially for California physicians. It is written in plain English by CMA attorneys for California physicians and their advisors. It is a 7-volume treatise with more than 4,500 pages of practical summaries of California and federal laws, sample forms and letters, and the actual text of laws that are of greatest importance to California physicians. This invaluable resource is updated on an annual basis. Each new version includes legal information on the newly enacted laws and regulations which impact the practice of medicine. For example, CPLH 2012 features new sections on adverse events, fair and just culture, responding to requests for non-beneficial treatment, governance issues that may arise in physician organizations, as well as information on new areas such as marketing strategies for physicians, use of social media and practice promotion through third-party coupons, and of course, very detailed information on the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. This year, CPLH has launched cplh.org. This new website provides a quick and easy way to answers that physicians may have regarding common practice management issues. This ends my portion of the webinar. I'll now pass the mic to my colleague Lisa Matsubara, who will begin her presentation on how to access CMA's Health Law Library.
Thanks, Michelle. So as Michelle just mentioned, CPLH is a tremendous resource, and generally to access the information, you have to purchase a CD-ROM, books, or a subscription to the CPLH website. However, CMA members can actually access all of the CPLH content through CMA's Health Law Library, CMA On Call. CMA On Call also contains some additional content in addition to the content that's in CPLH that is specific to physician practice management and other issues that are not general to California law. CMA members can download individual documents online, and those free for members, and non-members can also purchase documents at $2 per page. But before I show everyone how to navigate CMA On Call online, I just want to mention the Legal Information Line. CMA's Legal Center staffs the Legal Information Line. It runs Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is staffed by CMA attorneys and our health law information specialist. We can help members find information and answers to law-related questions. I want to stress that CMA Legal cannot provide any legal advice to individual physicians, but we do maintain contact information for physician-friendly attorneys and provide that information when it's requested or warranted. The Legal Information Line is a members-only benefit, and you can reach us through the CMA member helpline or by emailing us at legalinfo@cmanet.org. Today, I want to give people a small snapshot of the kind of information contained in CMA On Call and how to find it. So we're going to start here on CMA's website, which is at www.cmanet.org, right here. And this is our home page. In order to download individual on-call documents, you must be logged into the website. This is the same whether you're a member downloading documents for free or a non-member purchasing documents for download. You can log in using the login button on the top right, which is right here, or by clicking on the Activate Web Account tab, which is up here. If you don't have a web account, you can register for a new account here by clicking on Register. And you can follow the prompts to create a web account on cmanet.org. I also want to point out right here that there's a search bar right here, and if you do try to search for terms here, it is going to search the entire website under everything and not just the Health Law Library. Something to keep in mind later when we are searching for specific terms. There is a function, if you do use the drop down right here, to limit the search to the legal library, and that is also an option, but I'm going to show you an easier way to do so. Okay, so back to CMA's homepage. The easiest way to get to the Health Law Library is under Professional Resources. You'll see CMA On Call. If you click on that, that will take you to our Health Law Library. You can also click Legal Assistance, and that will take you to this page, and right here you can click on Health Law Library right here. I'm going to go over 3 options to search our Health Law Library, and they are Search 1, Browse by Chapter, Search 2, Using Specific Search Terms, and Search Option 3, which is using the filters that are built into our website. When you go to the Health Law Library, this is the main screen that you will see. And the default option is to browse by chapter view. These chapters mirror the chapters in CPLH. And as you scroll down, you will see all of the chapters here arranged alphabetically. The chapters cover a wide range of topics, as you can see right here, including advertising, information on drug prescribing and dispensing, fraud and abuse, which includes information on anti-kickback and anti-referral laws. We have several chapters on managed care, including things specific to contract termination and exclusion, utilization review and management. We also have chapters on medical practice issues, including employment issues and practice formation, which includes information on ACOs and medical foundations. In addition, we have several chapters on medical records, which specify HIPAA or requests for access, special confidentiality rules. We also have medical staff, peer review, and professional liability, just to highlight a few. So you have the option of exploring individual documents in each chapter by expanding individual chapters one at a time, like this. So here we have the medical staff chapter, and each chapter has an expand button to the right. If you click on it, it will reveal all of the on-call documents within each of the chapters. So here we have economic credentialing, exclusive contracts, medical staff, self-governance, policy, and law. You can also hit Expand All for a global view. So at the main Health Law Library page, we have these 3 buttons up here, and you can actually hit Expand All, which will provide you all of the documents in every chapter of CMA On-Call. I'm going to show everyone how each of these search options work, and we're going to use real member inquiries that we've received on our legal information line. So our first question is, a patient is requesting copies of their medical records. Can I charge the patient a fee? And we're going to find this answer using the search option to browse by chapters, which, as I showed you, is our default option on the website. So to find the answer by browsing chapters, you're going to scroll down to the chapters on medical records. And as you can see, we have HIPAA, management, requests for access, and special confidentiality requirements. Since we're dealing with whether or not you can charge a fee for medical record copies, that's going to fall under management. And if you expand the management chapter, you'll see that we have CMA On-Call document number 1125, medical records allowable copying charges. And you can just click on that. It'll take you to the individual document page, which will just have a brief description of the document right here, how long the document is, and when it was last updated. To view the document, you're going to click on the Download File button right here, and a PDF document is going to open up. And so here we have a CMA On-Call document. This is how most of our on-call documents look. And this is the one on allowable copy charges. Every document contains bookmarks over here on the left so that you can easily navigate within the document. You can also search for specific terms within the PDF using the Find feature, which you'll find in Adobe under Edit, or you can hit Control F or Apple F to then type in the term, and it will actually take you to the place in the document where that term is mentioned. So here you can toggle using the bookmarks on the left, and there is actually a handy chart at the end of this document which outlines the statutory limits on charging patients a fee for a copy of their medical records, including clerical costs and what is allowed under the law. On to question 2. Someone has posted a negative review about my practice online. What can I do about it? This is actually a question that we have been getting more and more of recently as more websites and consumer rating websites pop up and allow patients and actually really anybody to post comments about a practice or business online. So this time we're going to search using a specific search term. So here, this is what I was talking about earlier. Here, under the Health Law Library page, there is a search bar that's built into just the Health Law Library. So this is going to search only the documents within the Health Law Library and not the entire CMAnet.org site. So we're looking for information on online ratings. So you can type in online rating right here and hit search. And it's going to generate search results based on relevance. So here, CMA on-call document number 0822, online consumer review and rating site, is the top search result. As you can see, you'll see brief descriptions in the search results to help you select the best match for your inquiry. And you'll notice that some of them are cut off, but that's just because it's just a preview of what the description is. And if you actually click on the document, it's going to take you to the product detail for that particular document, and there you can see a longer description of the document, and you can see whether or not that is going to be the most relevant document to help you answer your question. And here, it looks like this is the best document since it says, this document discusses how physicians can manage and respond to online comments about them or their practice. So we're going to click on Download File here. It's going to open up a PDF of the document. And as you can see, there is actually a bookmark here for responding to negative reviews, which will answer our questions. So our last example here is, can I bill a patient for non-covered services? And this last search option I'm going to show you is by using the filters that have been already built into our website. And I'm going to warn you that the use of the filters is probably going to result in broader search results. So this time, we're actually going to click away from the chapter view and select List View right here. When you hit List View, it's going to start listing things that's just what the most recent featured items are going to be, and it has nothing to do with any search that you're going to be starting right now. But you'll see that there's a Filter By tab right here, and if you click on this arrow pointing down, it's going to expand and show you this view. For purposes of the Health Law Library, the filter by year is not really going to be relevant. All of our documents are updated every year, so they're pretty much all going to show up if you just filter by year. But you can filter by areas of interest. And here, the areas of interest are set to search the entire site, but if you choose legal issues in the first drop down right here, which is one of the options, it's going to generate a second list in the second box of CMA on-call specific categories. And those categories are going to be business issues, fraud and abuse, antitrust, hospitals, health facilities, licensing, disciplinary, medical practice, medical records, office workforce issues, payer issues, and professional liability. since we're looking for billing for non-covered services, the most relevant category here is going to be payer issues. So you're going to select that and hit the plus sign. You can also filter by using keywords. And here, since we're dealing with a reimbursement issue, you want to be reimbursed for your patients for the non-covered services. Right here, if you start typing in reimbursement, the site is going to auto-populate the keywords that we have in the site. And here you want to select reimbursement from patients and then click Apply Filters. And that's going to give you these search results. And as I said before, these search results are going to be a little broader than if you were using a specific term search. And so you can read the brief descriptions here in the preview of the documents to select the most relevant one. And here, we're reading collecting from deceased patients, not really relevant. Waiver of copayment, not relevant. But billing patients, CMA document number 0110, it says this document discusses issues relating to billing patients for treatment, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to click on this document, and it will take you to the product detail. And as I said before, we're going to download the file, which will open up the PDF. And when the document opens, you'll notice that there's actually a bookmark here for covered services and then non-covered services. So you can click on the non-covered services, which will take you to the place in the document. And here's our question: can I bill a patient for non-covered services? And there's pretty detailed discussion about this subject. You will notice here that it says, generally speaking, yes, and then says, see sample patient financial responsibility form. Many of our on-call documents contain sample forms and letters that physician offices can customize for their needs, and they're generally located at the end of the document as they are here. And you can also toggle for them. And here are the 3 sample letters and forms that are a part of this billing patient document, and here is the patient agreement to pay for non-covered services sample form. So those are just 3 examples of the legal information inquiries and how to use the various search options to use the search options to navigate CMA's online health library to find your answers. I'm going to give you a couple examples of recent inquiries and what our resources are. So, how long do I need to keep old patient records? What about billing records? We have a CMA on-call document on the retention of medical records, which will answer these questions. A health plan is asking me to return monies paid for services I rendered. What shall I do? We have resources regarding health plan requests for refunds, and that document discusses the law regarding that practice. Is it legal for me to have a security camera in my medical office? We have some documents regarding medical practice issues, including the use of cameras in waiting rooms and also the workplace areas of your medical practice. And there's patient privacy issues that go with that. My office has a new cosmetic laser device. Can my medical assistant operate it? Our Allied Health Professional chapter has documents on medical assistants and their scope of practice, as well as other allied health professionals, and that will answer that question. Someone is using my DEA number on phony prescription pads. Who should I report this to? We have an on-call document on unauthorized drug prescribing, which includes contact information for the DEA in case your DEA number is misappropriated. My patient wants me to call in a prescription to an online Canadian pharmacy. Is this legal? We have a document that discusses out-of-country prescriptions and all of the all of the considerations that you need to think about when you are asked by a patient to prescribe something to an out-of-country pharmacy. I'm moving offices. What are my obligations to notify patients? Our physician and patient relationship chapter contains many of the laws and regulations that are necessary to notify your patients when you have a change in your practice, or if you're retiring, or if you're moving offices in this case. I've been served with a subpoena to provide an attorney with a patient's medical records. How do I respond? Our health law library contains a document which guides physicians through responding to subpoenas for medical records. I lost my laptop with patient information on it. What shall I do? First, you should call your professional liability carrier. But we also have a document on security breach of health information, which describes federal and state laws regarding patient notification and anything else that you need to do in terms of dealing with a security breach of health information. Is it legal to sell advertising space on my practice website? Sometimes it'll take more than one CMA on-call document to answer your question, and in this case we have a document in our e-medicine chapter regarding maintaining a physician practice website, which will have helpful information, as well as in our advertising chapter we have advertising by physicians, which lays out all of the laws regulating advertising by physicians. So to summarize, CMA's Center for Legal Affairs develops and maintains many resources that helps members comply with the law. And they include CMA On Call, CMA's Health Law Library at cmanet.org, the California Physicians Legal Handbook at cplh.org. And I want to stress that that is not a member-only benefit. That is something that anyone can purchase from our website. We have a variety of publications on a huge range of topic areas, and again, those are all available to members and to non-members through our website. And if you can't find something, you're always welcome to give us a call on the legal information line, and we'll be happy to help you. So that's it for my portion of the presentation, and we are happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
Thanks, Lisa. We have a few questions. Our first one asks, what if I'm not a CMA member? Can I still access CMA's Health Law Library?
So if you are not a CMA member, you will be able to navigate through the entire site to see what we have, and you'll be able to see the product descriptions for each individual document. So you will not be able to access the actual document unless you register for an account with our website and you purchase the document. In the alternative, you can also obtain a subscription to cplh.org or buy a print or CD version of CPLH, and that way you'll have access to that content as well.
How much are each document?
They are $2 per page if you're going to buy them individually, and then we are going to start a subscription service for cplh.org probably next year.
Can CMA attorneys review my contracts?
So we would suggest that you, the physician, review all of your contracts, but in those cases where you feel like there is one provision of the contract that you are concerned with, or you have questions about maybe 2 or 3 provisions within your contract, you can call the CMA Legal Information Line. CMA does review all of the major payer contracts, and we actually have a written analysis of those contracts up on our CMA website. You can go to cmanet.org/CES to look at that written analysis. And for those other plans that don't fall within that category, you can give us a call, and on a case-by-case basis, we can see what we can do in regards to contract analysis. In addition, we do have a contract analysis service, an on-call document, whereby a contract attorney will give our CMA members a discount for a full contract analysis.
Okay, our next question is probably for Michelle. How do we keep track of lawsuits that CMA is a part of or briefs that we have filed?
You can take a look at our CMA case list, which is also located on the CMA website. You can go to the legal resources. There's a publication list, including not only is our CMA case list there, which is updated monthly, but also there are other publications such as Essential Health Reform, Health Reform Essentials, and other valuable publications.
We also have a historic document on our site under CMA in the courts, and that is going to summarize all of the cases we've been involved in since the 80s, whether or not they're pending or resolved. But the best place to keep track of what's going on in terms of CMA Legal's involvement in both AC cases and litigation is our case list.
What are a couple examples of cases that CMA is a part of right now?
Well, currently we are involved in a Medi-Cal rate reduction lawsuit against the state of California and the federal government. We are litigating the proposed 10% cut to the Medi-Cal physician reimbursement rate. That's the big one. We're also have a lawsuit against Aetna, which is one of our most recent cases, and all of those cases have a brief description of the issues that are being litigated and can also be found on our case list.
And the case list is free to the public as well. We have some AC. We're involved in a couple amicus cases right now regarding MICRA and the non-economic damages capped, mostly regarding the constitutionality of it. We also have a couple peer review cases we're involved in, as well as a federal case in the 9th Circuit regarding Medicare recovery audits.
What should I do if I have a case that CMA might be interested in?
So if you have a case that CMA might be interested in, and you either, if you want us to get involved as an amicus, you're welcome to contact the legal information line, and we will do an intake in terms of whether or not we think that this is going to be a case that is in the appellate level, because as Michelle mentioned, we don't get involved in cases in the trial level, but we will look at the case, and if it's in the appellate level and we think that it's an issue that is important for all physicians in California or the practice of medicine in the state, we will get involved. And we actually have a document called Legal Assistance, and it lays out all of the criteria for us to be participating as an AC. Generally, those requests need to be approved by our executive committee, so if you do have a case, we urge you to contact us earlier rather than later. It becomes harder for us to get involved when the brief is due in a week.
Okay, we have just a couple more questions, it looks like. The next one says, how often do the on-call documents get updated, and are there new ones coming out each year?
So the on-call documents, all of the Legal Center updates everything, all of the content every year. So when the governor signs all the bills and new laws are set for the year, we will update all of the on-calls. It generally happens at the end of the year, and new on-call documents begin to become available to members starting in January, February, March. We sort of roll it out as they're done. And then on occasion, if there's some sort of big new law that's passed, then we will do an update mid-year. just so that our documents are updated. And I'm sorry, Brooke, what was the second part of that question?
And if new documents come out each year.
Okay, we do actually add new documents. Every year we have a couple, not just a couple, actually a few new on-call documents. Generally, those are created if we find that there's a need. So we had several new on-call documents in the past 2 years regarding the Affordable Care Act, and such as ACOs and medical foundations. We also have had several new on-calls in our e-medicine chapter as the EHR incentive program is rolling out and the meaningful use rules are coming out. And then last year we had a new on-call on social media use in physician offices, which dealt with how physicians can manage not just their practice social media, but their individual social media, and then their employees' use of social media, and making sure that we'll have the right employee policies in place to protect patient confidentiality.
Okay, it looks like those are all the questions that we have. So big thanks to Lisa and Michelle. Thank everyone so much for attending. Please be sure to register for all of our upcoming 2012 webinars by visiting cmanut.org/events. Also, we have recorded this webinar and it will be available for viewing by tomorrow in our online library located under Professional Resources. I'd like to thank Lisa and Michelle for their time and for sharing their knowledge, and I would like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy day to join us for this presentation. The webinar will now close and a short survey will pop up. Please be sure to complete this survey to help us improve future webinars. Have a great afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.